You've just installed Vintage Story. Now what? This game is much more than just your simple block building adventure. It's the ultimate survival game. The learning curve is real and the winter is long. Here's my short guide to help you get started in Vintage Story. Funding for this video is provided by viewers like you. Remember, this is not the end-all guide for the game. These are just some suggestions to help you at the start. Need more help? At the top of the video, there's a link to all my guides for Vintage Story, from farming, windmills, hunting, and so much more. Okay, here they are, my beginning tips, in no particular order. You spawn in at a set point on the map. This is where you'll end up, or close to where you'll end up when you die. Setting your spawn point in Vintage Story is a bit more complex than other games, so I would suggest settling down close to this area. You're going to die a bunch. Building close to the spawn will shorten your run back when you die. Remember, you can always move or start a second base or home later. Vintage Story is a gathering game. You'll always be looking for resources. At the start, stones, sticks, and flint are what you should be collecting. You will need either stone or flint to craft your first tools and weapons. A stick will act as a handle, and well, you're gonna always need sticks. Always. The sun will set fast on your first day. Secure a fire starter and a torch before the sun dips behind the horizon. I've spent many a first night in the dark in a hole in the ground. Don't be like me. Fire is your friend. There's some scary things that go bump in the dark in Vintage Story. The map is your friend. Heck, it could be your best friend in this game. I can't stress enough how important it is to mark everything you see on the map. Start by marking where you spawned into the game and then where you settled down and built your first house. Finding your way back home is the hardest thing to do when you've wandered far, far away looking for clay. Keep your eyes out for everything and mark your map. Honestly, bees, clay, copper, tin, quartz, even stuff you can't harvest yet like iron. At some point in the game, you'll need just about everything you run across. I even marked things like mushrooms on the map. You never know when you're gonna need a quick snack. Also, I've been marking trees as I see them. It seems like I'm always looking for a certain kind of tree and forgot where I saw it on the map. Oh, there's that oak tree. I found it. Cattails or papyrus are crucial at the start. Check your map, look for some water, a pond, a lake, or a waterfront. Harvest them up, make a couple of fancy baskets, and like magic, you have your first storage. Might I suggest harvesting the stalks, collecting them, and replanting them close to your house? It's nice to have them close. Did I mention you can also cook them and eat them if you're really hungry? Also, they don't need water to grow, so you can plant them anywhere. Your first house doesn't need to be fancy. Dirt houses are nothing to be ashamed of. You can even spruce up the dirt by using packed dirt, cob, or my personal favorite, rammed earth. Now that's a good-looking dirt hut. Doors are not needed in Vintage Story. You'll make them, use them, and fall in love with them. I'm a big fan of those 3 high doors. So good looking. But at the start, you can seal yourself into a room with dirt. Or if you want something simple to break down, you can use hay blocks. A sealed room becomes way more important as it starts to get cold, because a sealed room will keep you warm. Gathering and eating enough food at the start of the game is hard. The first time I played this game, the lack of food and how much it filled my belly almost made me quit. Don't give up. Starving is normal. It's just part of the early game. As you progress, food will get easier. I promise. Berry bushes are great, especially the blueberry ones. Harvest them and eat them first. They rot fast. You can even collect the whole berry bush and bring it back to your house for easy berries later. There are a couple of really cool things that you can do with berries later on in the game, but at the start, raw berries will be your main diet. There are animals in Vintage Story, which means there's meat. Hunting can be tricky at the start of the game, but worth it for the meat, hides, and fat. Meat does not store long, especially when it's hot, so cook it up and eat it fast. An easy way to get meat is by digging a hole. There's a bunch of animals out there. Most are not friendly. If you poke them with a stick, there's a high chance they'll try to kill you. There's an easy method to get a bunch of meat. Dig a hole and either lead the animals to the hole or leave it and come back later. The animals will find their way to the hole on their own. Free meat. I made a great animal trap guide. There's a link in the description of this video. There is farming in Vintage Story, and it's a big part of the game. My advice is to always be collecting seeds. You're going to have your favorite crops, mine is flax, but at the start, collect them all. Farming is the way you're going to secure long-term food, which is the key to life. Plant some crops as soon as possible. Don't wait for the perfect farm. Get some seeds in the ground and get them growing. The first season's crops are so important to making it through your first winter. Something I didn't know until much later was that there's a lot of stuff in Vintage Story that burns. You'll need firewood to start your fire pit, but there's a ton of stuff that you can use in that fire pit. Wood logs, peat, charcoal, flowers, sticks, fences, and ferns. And there's more. So much more. There are bits of metal scattered throughout the world on the ground. Mostly you're going to run across copper, and if you're really lucky, you'll see some tin. Mark these locations on your trusty map and collect up the bits. You're going to use these to craft your first real tools in the game. I didn't really understand what clay working was at first. Sure, I read the handbook and saw that there was stuff made from clay, but you should know it's crucial to your survival. Clay is the stepping stone for all movement forward in the game. You'll use clay to make the cookware to make better food. Clay is the way you make all items for your first metalworking. If you see clay, grab some and make sure to mark it on your map. Clay is such a cool part of Vintage Story. Are you listening? This one is super important. Before you start metalworking, you're going to need charcoal. Don't be like me. Collect all the metal bits. Have your clayware ready. Excited to make your first pickaxe, only to realize you don't have any charcoal. Making charcoal is not a quick process, and it should be started before you start thinking about that copper-tipped spear. Chop some trees, dig a hole, and set it on fire. I did a full charcoal guide video. The link is in the description. I don't think this next tip is talked about enough. Don't be afraid to wander. This is a huge game. There are millions of blocks in every direction. There's so much to see, gather, and loot. I think it's easy to get stuck where you settle, but get out there and see the world. Remember, if you're thinking to yourself, I can't find bees or clay or bees, just walk a bit farther out. They're all out there, waiting for you. There is lore and there are ruins in the game. These areas can be full of free materials like bony soil, blocks to build with, and cool loot. Yep, there's a wide variety of loot in the ruins. Free seeds, tools, grain. Heck, you might even find a pair of boots. Ruins can give you a leg up by providing material you might not have access to at the start of the game. I need you to hear me. Death is fine. It's a big part of the game. You're gonna die a bunch. Animals will use you as food. Drifters will rock you to death. And the biggest challenge of all, the deep, dark hole will swallow you up when you least expect it. But you'll get better at avoiding death. Me, I accept it and wear it as a badge of honor. There's my start guide to the best game in the world, Vintage Story. My last tip, and the most important, is to remember to have fun. Vintage Story is a wonderful game full of so many rich experiences. Have a good tip for me? Share it with me in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. The video's over. Now it's time for you to do your part. Follow, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.